Okay, so I'm going to be making the polar bear card that came in your virtual open house kit. This is what the kit will look like when you pull out the inserts. If you're making this card from scratch, I'll just show you some of the items you'll need to purchase. This is the Studio Light layered cutting dies with the polar bear. This is what we used for the card, and these are the pieces that are in it. So you'll get the circle die, you get the mountain die and the polar bear die. And what you're going to do is you'll use only this die to cut out the circle with the double-sided tape. You will use this die along with the mountain die to cut out the circle with the mountain background. And you'll use the circle die and the polar bear die to cut out the polar bear shape. Also, we used the Creative Expressions Mini Sentiments Mini Expressions die, All is Calm, All is Bright. That's CEDME063. And the highlight are the Aurora Flakes, which I'll open the one that we used. These are beautiful flakes. They're like the gilding flakes, except now they come in different colors. This one that we used on the card is yellow or silver and blue, and I thought it would be nice for the wintertime scene to kind of show a reflection of this, winter snow scene. So I'll go ahead and I'll open the kit so you can see what's inside, and we'll get started. There, so inside the kit you will find the embossed background. It's embossed with like a snow background, falling snowflake background. These are like I mentioned, these are the die cuts that we've already prepared for you. This is with the double-sided tape, and it's on a piece of cardstock. Then we have the background mountain die cut out, and then we have the polar bear die cut. And this is the sentiment, All is Calm, All is Bright. And then we have the Aurora Flakes are contained in the little red envelope, which is compliments of Betty Faubert. Thank you, Betty, for making that for us. Inside are the Aurora Flakes. I'm just going to start by, and you may have to do this as well, just punch out some of the pieces of the die that got stuck onto into the sentiments. They're easily pushed out, just so you can read the whole saying there. That's all we have to do for that. Now to begin, I'm going to start with the layering. So what you're going to do is take the circle with the double-sided tape and peel off the backing so that the sticky side is exposed. And then you're going to take your mountain die cut and start with the thin top edge and line it up with the background circle. I find that a lot easier than trying to start at the bottom. And then you just push it on, make sure that the cardstock is fully adhered to the tape. And then you're going to open your Aurora Flakes envelope. And inside there's plenty of Aurora Flakes because you don't need very much for this. It's just going to be the top portion of your card, of your cutout, that's going to need the Aurora Flakes. So you just sprinkle a little bit on, and then just use any soft brush that you have. You can use a toothbrush. Creative Expressions also has a gilding flake sponge that you can use with this as well. I just have this little brush here. And you're just going to push the flakes onto the adhesive part of the the die and spread it around until you have full coverage of the Aurora flakes onto your background. And then when you have the tape completely covered, then you just kind of go in a circular motion, pressing gently, not too hard, because you don't want to push them off again. And then that's all you have to do, and that's that. I'm just going to get a cloth to wipe up the extra gilding or extra Aurora flakes. Okay, so now I'm going to apply this to the front, but with the sticky specs. So the sticky specs will have come in your package with the stickers and the 3D tabs. You just pull back the top of the sticky spec sheet, put your polar bear on top. Actually, I'm going to grab a different sheet. That one probably has been used for something else, so I'm going to use this one. Just attach it to your sheet, put the top over it, give it a little rub. And then you can peel it off. You may want to use a tool to release the parts that are delicate because you don't want them to rip. And what the sticky specs do are they're millions of small micro adhesive dots that stick to your paper, and then they make it very easy to apply delicate, intricate die cuts to cardstock. They don't leave any strings, or there's no squeeze out like you would for glue. And they work very well for this type of application. So then I put it on, lining it up again with the edges. And then you just push down the die cut, and that's all there is to it. So that's the main part of the card. So now I'm going to take my cardstock. I'm going to fold it in half. In your kit, you will have gotten a scoring tool, which also is good for folding. And now the next step, you can do it if you like, you don't have to, but if you have some blue ink, I'm just going to use the blending brush. You can leave the card white as it is, but I want to add just a little bit of color around the edges. And so I'm just going to blend some blue ink around the edges of the card, and this just adds a little bit of color if you don't want it just to be all white. It picks up some of the embossed snowflakes as well. And you just keep going around the edge just to add a little bit of highlight here and there. And these blending brushes, this is perfect for use for the blending brushes. There, that's all I'm going to do for that. So now you take your die cut, and just kind of for placement, you put it on the card. And you're going to take your sentiment and just line it up, so make sure you have enough room for the sentiment. So then when you get it to where you like it to be, you turn over your polar bear die cut, and then the foam tabs that came also in your kit, we're going to just take a few of those and attach them around the edges of your circle. And you don't need that many, just a few, and a couple in the center. And now I'm going to just take off the backing of the foam tabs. And when you do this, the foam tabs will add a little bit of dimension, a little bit of depth to your card. That's why we like to raise them up like that. And now the next step is to add the sentiment. And again, we're going to use our sticky specks. Place your sentiment on the front or on the back of the sticky specks, and then put the front piece of plastic down. Give it a little rub. And with this, you're going to want to use probably a sheet of sticky specks that you've already used before, just because it can be very sticky when it's a brand new sheet. And this is a very intricate die cut. So again, you just use your tool to pick it up. Once it starts releasing, you can pull it up, just like that. Now, when you place this on your card, the sticky specks allow your die cut to be a repositionable at first. If you don't like the placement, you can always change it, pick it up and change it, but then after a little while it will become permanent. Then you just push it down, make sure it's sticking, and there you go. That's the polar bear card with the Aurora Flake background. Thank you for watching.